Hey guys, and welcome to In Hollywood In Depth. It's a new show we're just launching here, and make sure to check out our logo.
Woo! In Hollywood in Depth. Hello, everybody. I am Magnus Fulton. I'm one of your hosts, and the boy on the other side of the West Coast is.
I'm not a boy. I am a man, and I am Caden Hollander, and I am here today to represent myself as we go In Hollywood In Depth. So with this show, we talk about the top news stories briefly. Then we do a top 10 list based on movies that are coming out this week or big stuff in the news. Then we will do 3 debates, and then to finish it out, we will do another top 5 list. This is for your ultimate movie fan. We also have Teens Top Movies, more of a show, just recapping the movie news week. But this is for your ultimate movie fan. We dive deep into the realm of movies and analyzing them.
This is a show for everyone. You like movie news? Bam, we got it. You like debates? Bam, we got it. You like people crying because they lost? We got it. Even though I'm not.
All right. Well, when we debate, you'll see how I crush Magnus every single time. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll start with our top 3 news stories this week. So to start, breaking news. It just came out like 40 minutes ago when we were filming TTM, which is on youtube.com/landmarkfilm and also on our channels. But
Great play.
Amazing plug. But big news story: Mission Impossible 5 has gotten a title, Rogue Nation, and has a
Rogue One. Oh no, yeah. Sorry, different story. Okay, go.
All right, fantastic. I'm super duper excited for it. Looks awesome. Magnus, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I loved Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. The other 3, I'm like, yeah, cool movies. But this one, are you kidding me? Tom Cruise is on the side of a plane, and he's Tom Cruise, so he probably did that stunt, like, legit. And he's holding on to it, and it just looks so cool. He's driving in a car, and then he like, switches the car, and it like hits 2 motorcycles, and you're like, dude, Simon Pegg is back. Jeremy Renner might be somewhere in there. I don't know. It's gonna be more spy awesomeness, and I like how at the end they play the old theme. You know, it just brings me home. So yeah, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I just saw the first Mission Impossible the other day. I absolutely loved it. Just the twists and turns. Hopefully this film will take the same sort of twists and turns, same sort of risks that the first film took. Fantastic film. Totally looking forward to it.
Me too, Caden. Let's move on.
Okay, this one you're excited about.
Am I?
All right, so this next, so Bob Iger made a huge Disney announcement down in LA, and we have a bit of interesting news. So we'll start off with the news that all the little girls who dressed up in Elsa costumes at Disneyland will love, and the news that Magnus may or may not. That there's going to be a Frozen sequel, Frozen 2. It's going to come out. Highest-grossing animated movie of all time. Magnus, what do you think?
Yeah. So hey, Frozen 2. Kind of obviously they were going to make it, right? You know, because Frozen was such a big movie. I just don't get why Frozen was such a big movie. Because you got films like Big Hero 6 and How to Train Your Dragon 2. Great movies, okay? They pick on the emotional angle. Frozen was an okay movie. The fact that it's getting that much hype, that we got a short called Frozen Fever in front of Cinderella, and now a sequel. I mean, really, doesn't make any sense. Honestly, it's about a girl, and then she gets all insecure about herself, so she goes, she sings a song about her feelings, and nothing really happens. Her sister just goes up. There's no big emotional arc. I just don't get why people love it so much. It doesn't make any sense.
It's a good movie, and it's about princesses. Take it down a notch.
No, I just don't. Honestly, there are great movies out there. Now we're getting a sequel to Frozen. I just want to know what this film's going to be about. Is it going to be like Anna has fire powers and stuff? Like, because her and Elsa are like...
No.
I just don't know what this film's going to be about, honestly. Really, I don't know how they can go. Because now that Elsa is like normal, if they're going to go the route where she becomes insecure again, which is kind of what they did with Frozen Fever, if you guys saw that short, where she like can't control her powers again. I'm like, that was what the whole last movie is about. If they do that again, honestly, I'm done with Frozen. I already am, but...
I mean, they're also making a Broadway play off of it, which if I was still lived in New York, I would be like, heck yeah, I'm seeing that.
No, but I can't take
Frozen is basic. I would have rather Frozen just been a Broadway show, because it is a Broadway show.
Basically, yeah.
Alright, so some more news.
If Frozen was that film that came out and no one cared about, I'd be like, that's a fun movie. The fact that it's getting so much hype, I just don't get it. I honestly don't.
So, this was rumored a while ago. It's now confirmed. Felicity Jones, the star of The Theory of Everything, one of my favorite movies of last year, is going to be in Star Wars, the spin-off Rogue One. So excited for this news. Magnus, what do you think?
Yeah, great. I love Felicity Jones. She was great. I really want to see her because, you know, I love her role in the Theory of Everything, but it was kind of a one-note role, you know. She just had to play the wife. She's like, okay. But she's going to be the star of the Gareth Edwards solo Star Wars movie, Rogue One. So that's the title, a lot of rogues happening in Hollywood recently. And, yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure about these, like, Star Wars spin-offs. Like, what do you think, Aiden? Like, I don't know.
I'm really excited for this, actually. I mean, I'm looking at this sort of, I mean, I'm really excited for the Star Wars spin-offs. I'm just a bit worried that they're going to oversaturate the market. We'll talk about oversaturating the market later, but that's my main concern. A Star Wars movie should be an event. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best part of The Force Awakens. It's going to be an event. Like, people are going to go see this. Like, you know, my grandpa never goes to the movies. He's going to go see Star Wars The Force Awakens on opening night. But when you oversaturate the market with Star Wars movies like they've done with Marvel or like what DC's about to do, then each movie becomes less amazing, and it just sort of, now you're getting them all the time. Star Wars movies, if you remember, Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980. People had to wait 3 years to figure out what happened to Han Solo, and that's what made Return of the Jedi such a big movie, because people have been waiting for it for so long. So I'm a bit worried about that. But as for Felicity Jones being in it, heck yeah, I'm excited. And then also the plot for Rogue One that was released sounds really cool as well.
Yeah, I know. I think it sounds like a really cool movie. I want to see how they incorporate it. Like, is this going to be like an intertwined thing where it's almost like a .5 sequel to The Force Awakens? I want to know. But I'm really excited. It just makes the Star Wars universe feel larger. I just hope it doesn't, you know, just become like, oh, it's just this one character. If they can make it like on the scale of like Captain America: The Winter Soldier, you know, of what that is to Avengers 2, like that would be awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. That's fun.
All right, so now we're going to get to our top 10 lists. This one is top 10 animated movies. All right, so we have Home coming out next week, this DreamWorks movie that nobody really cares about. But animated movies, this gives us an excuse. We get to talk about our favorite animated movies. All right.
Yes.
So I had a bit of shuffling I've just been doing on my list. So let's get started with our honorable mentions. So Magnus, present your honorable mention first.
My honorable mention, this is a film I always really liked, and then the more I see it, I'm like, you know, it's still a good movie, but it's not as, you know, it's not like, oh, big movie, but Toy Story 3, still an amazing movie, a brilliant conclusion to the Toy Story trilogy. I mean, I don't love the Toy Story movies, but Toy Story 3, like, really brought it, and it was just a fun movie. I mean, I don't like the emotional aspect as much. I feel like it's a bit, you know, hey, they're toys, okay. But just like the quirkiness of it, and like how it's like this world built out of toys, I just like the imagination. And Ken, really Michael Keaton's best work. I'm sorry, Birdman, but honestly, Michael Keaton.
Wow.
Great.
All right. So I mean, Toy Story 3 didn't even make my list. I haven't seen that in.
Yes, it didn't make my.
I remember that. I remember I was bawling when I saw. I haven't like cried that intensely since I saw that movie.
No, I just don't. You don't want to admit.
Lotso, and oh my gosh, when I was 10 years old and they left the toy, oh my gosh, that tears running down my face. But my honorable mention is going to be a more recent movie made by Disney Animation, one of their best movie in my opinion. It's an argument between two of them, but one of their better movies, Wreck-It Ralph. This is one of my.
Yeah.
This is just a cool movie. The way they incorporated video games and like. They had the Candy Crush theme, and they had the Call of Duty theme, and the way they modernized it. Really fun movie, really excited, really just cool concept, and definitely one that I would put as one of my favorite animated movies. All right,
didn't make my list. You did make my list, just really low down. But hey, my number 10 is a funny DreamWorks movie called Megamind. Megamind had everything, you know. It was literally a film about the bad guy. We never get those, and it was hilarious. Will Ferrell, honestly, arguably his best. I mean, I don't think he's done many animated movies, but this just took it all. Honestly, it was a parody on superhero movies. It was hilarious. It was smart. It was self-aware. But it wasn't cheap. It wasn't like a spoof movie. It was just in a comedic sense. It just had everything. Honestly, it had, you know, it just played on the fact that, oh, this is a world where the good guy always wins, and they played on that, like what happens after the villain finally wins. Because all of us are like, yeah, well, why doesn't the villain win? And this film shows why. It's just a dumb idea. So I just loved it. Will Ferrell brings it. Everyone brings it. Tina Fey as Roxanne Ritchie. Jonah Hill as Titan. Everyone. It was a hilarious movie. I loved it.
I mean, I really like Megamind. Didn't quite make my list. I saw that with you in 4th grade, and I hate to say that I haven't watched it since. But my number 10, it's a movie that I saw, really, really enjoyed. I saw the second one before I saw this one. This is definitely one of my favorite animated movies if I had to make a list. Kung Fu Panda.
Love Kung Fu Panda. Didn't make my list though.
This is like fantastic animated movie. I mean, the way like Poe is one of the best characters. Jack Black, fantastic voiceover performance. The villain even in this movie, not quite as good as the second film, which you'll see later on my list. But the saber-toothed tiger, I think it is, really fantastic in this film. Really cool villain, and really cool teaming up with the whole thing. Really, you get more of a team aspect in this film, whereas the second one it's more about Poe. You get really a team aspect. They're a team. They fight. It's like the Avengers of China animated movies. Fantastic. What's your number 9?
Number 9 is it was kind of between this and another film last year for number 9 on the list, but How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah, this was one of the best animated sequels I think I've ever seen.
Boo.
We'll see on this list. I love How to Train Your Dragon 2. Okay, Caden is a hater of the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I know what you're thinking. How is that possible, Caden? What the heck? This film, honestly, sorry, I just need to eat a chip to. This sequel just brought everything. It had the emotional aspect. It had the struggle. There's a struggle in the film, and there's some tension, and there's a tragedy, and you're like, oh, DreamWorks, how do you do this? Hiccup was just such a cool character. Seeing him evolve from the first movie, which may or may not be higher on my list, just saying. It's just so cool. His relationship with Toothless the Dragon, the fact that they're able to make dragons like relatable characters is in and of itself awesome. Hiccup's new mother, played by Kate Blanchett, was awesome. Stoic, played by Gerard Butler. All the teenage characters, they all brought it. It was a beautiful movie, to be honest. And the soundtrack, yes, I listened to that daily, all the time. It was super good. No, not super good, super great.
Alright, first I'm going to give you the 9 reasons why How to Train Your Dragon 2 is one of the worst animated films ever made. And then I'll start with my number 9. How to Train Your Dragon 2. It's like Despicable Me 2. You don't feel anything. Despicable Me, another great movie. The first one that didn't make my list. But Despicable Me 2, sure, How to Train Your Dragon 2, it was fun and it was cute, but there was no real feeling to it. I didn't get invested in the characters. Even the mother, there was no real development to her. They're like, oh yeah, he has a mother. Guess what? We never mentioned this before. Of course not. And it just happens that she's right here. She's dealing with the villain who has no motivation other than let's take over the world. I mean, like, very average sort of movie. The whole twist done before, the whole sort of thing. Like, you even saw it in like a Cars 2 earlier, which didn't quite make my list, but that was a fantastic. I saw that 2 nights ago. I really liked that.
Hayden is saying How to Train Your Dragon 2 is worse than Cars 2. He actually gave Cars 2.
I am saying that because Cars 2 is more enjoyable. You get more into the story. It has the exact same twist as Cars 2 had, and where Toothless is isolated. It's just like, really, what's the point here? And the beach scene, the big fight there, was like a molten set copy of the first film's final battle, which made the whole first film downgraded.
I'm going to debate this early, but Caden, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is eons better than Cars 2. Cars 2 doesn't make any sense. The plot makes no sense. It's just like those
Cars
first
2. The plot makes sense. I just watched it 2 nights ago, as a matter of fact. There are undeniable plot holes. However, the film's enjoyable, it's fun, and it's a nice rush of adrenaline. Alright, so my number 9, everything is not awesome when we're talking about How to Train Your Dragon 2. Everything is awesome when we're talking about the Lego Movie. Now, when I was initially, scheming up this list, I was thinking, or when I was initially scheming up this list, I didn't even think this movie would make it, but it ended up, and it's a fantastic movie. But I was never excited for this movie. The trailer looked horrible. I'm like, oh no, not another one of these product placement movies. So everyone was going to be horrible. Got fantastic reviews. I'm like, what's going on? This is the Lego Movie. This is supposed to get all X. And then I saw the movie on DVD a while later. Totally impressed. Fantastic movie. Made me laugh my butt off. So definitely one of my favorite, definitely a top movie on this list. Number 9. What's your number 8?
Great movie, didn't come on my list. My number 8 is a film I feel like should be higher on this list, almost. But I got one word for you.
Oh my word. Lion King.
It's a great movie. It is really cool. I could listen to that song daily. I don't. I should though. Great movie. Honestly, that opening scene just tells us the film. This is like a higher. Disney finally set a higher standard for animated movies. Before, it's like Disney princesses and fun. The Lion King came out, people were like, okay, we got to step up our game, I feel like it should be higher on this list, it just isn't, because it isn't as enjoyable as some of the other films on this list. But just a story, this is like the original coming of age story. Are you kidding me? Like, honestly, in terms of coming of age, The Lion King was the original. Timon and Pumbaa were there for comedic relief, and they were great. Just the story of Simba and him moving on, and the African music, and it all melded as well as a good apple pie, and it was delicious. So, yeah.
I just saw this film recently, conveniently, because my middle school, they're putting on for their play The Lion King, so I was like, oh, I should probably, watch the movie. I haven't seen it since I was 5 years old. And I just watched it. And you're right, the opening scene is amazing, and the first half of the movie is spectacular. But as soon after, and it was perfect through Hakuna Matata. After Hakuna Matata, the whole film just falls flat on its face. Nala shows up, she's just like, hey, let's fall in love first, and I'm not going to ask you where the heck you were. And then, like, when they finally get to that, I'm like, oh, we're finally getting to this. And then there's slow motion lion fighting. I mean, not quite as good as I remember whatsoever.
Yeah, he has to face off Scar. He has to face off that guy. Come on.
I mean, the first half of the film was fantastic. But the second half of the film, I mean, though it was, like, sort of anticlimactic, I wasn't really impressed at all. The whole point of, like, oh, we have to move from Pride Rock, and then Scar's like, no. But the whole point of that, and then the end of the movie, they're still at Pride Rock. I'm like, when the bloody heck are you going to move, people? Undeniable plot holes with that movie, in my opinion. It almost made my list, just because it's such an interesting movie, and the cool music's the best part of that movie. But, I mean, the music's fantastic, but not my favorite movie by any means. All right, Magnus, what is your number 8?
The second half, though. I mean, I do prefer the first half to the second half, but still, I have to go back, and it's awesome, and he faces Scar, and secrets are revealed. Great movie, honestly.
Sorry, my number 8. All right, so my number 8 is a movie. I just mentioned the first one earlier on my countdown, so I'm gonna have to bring up Kung Fu Panda 2. This is a movie I didn't want to see. I think I saw it with David Hampton, one of my good friends. Anyway, we checked it out. Oh my gosh, I loved this movie. The adrenaline rush this gives you, the action in this film is so cool. The peacock, awesome, one of the best animated villains, totally awesome. Really cool movie, really nicely done. Definitely beat out the first one. It had more emotional pull and weight than the first one. And in 2016 in March, we're getting Po coming back for Kung Fu Panda 3. So excited for that movie.
Yeah, I like Red 2. Didn't make my list, sadly. Not good enough. But my number 7 is okay, as you can tell, me and Caden were made for debate, and this film by no means is going to spur a debate between me and Caden. No. Fantastic Mr. Fox. The fantastic Wes Anderson delight. It is an amazing
films of all time.
Stop motion. It was, honestly, his first time, if you just look at the attention to detail, honestly, the way he does it is just beautiful. The fact that he's able to make an animated stop motion movie look like one of his regular Wes Anderson movies, beautiful. He takes the story and he makes it longer, but it doesn't feel, stretched. It just feels worky. It's great. I love the characters. The dialogue is witty as heck. This is one of those animated movies where kids enjoy because they're like, hey, pretty animals. And then teenagers and adults are like, yeah, this is awesome. The funny dialogue. And then at the end, when everything's going down, it's all epic. And you're like, man, he just does everything. He has the action in, he has the comedy in, he has the heart in. Honestly, this guy just makes the best anime. It really was great, I have to say.
So, I'm just going to shoot myself first, because I'm really not impressed with your list, with How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Lion King, and then Fantastic Mr. Fox. So, I'm going to have to do another rant.
Cars 2 has made your list is a disgrace against humanity, okay? Guys, Cars 2. Keen likes Cars 2. Let that sit.
I didn't make my list, though. I really love it. Didn't make my list. But I have to look at the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Likes Cars 2.
I saw this on a plane in 3rd grade when I was sick, so that might factor into why I hate this movie. But besides the fact, the animation is so stylized, the animation looks horrible. The people are like moving, you can see the cuts. It's just like, I know they wanted to stylize it, but if you're gonna but don't even make that animation. I don't care if it's stylized. I care if it freaking looks good, which it doesn't.
It looks good. It looks
it's peanut butter.
It's a style and it looks nice. Honestly, it
looks nice. It's a pain to look at. It pains my eyes.
It looks good. That's the whole point.
It looks like that like painting I made with cloth when I was in 1st grade. Wow. No.
It looks beautiful, honestly, and they make it each look like a painting. They want you to make it look like a stylized movies, Caden. You don't know style when you see it, okay?
I know style when I see it. You don't know style. All right.
The debate hasn't even started yet. We're already debating. Oh my god.
All right. So my number 6 is a film that you absolutely love. Yeah, you've been okay with my list so far, and I think you're gonna stay
I
okay with my list. Because this next movie,
Yeah, I know, but you're playing it safe. You're not going out. Sorry.
it's just you're picking bad movies. I'm sorry. Okay, so
Stop moving!
my number's my number 7, The Adventures of Tintin.
Don't
Based on
give
one
it
of the most awesome comic
I
books.
love that movie. No! I don't
It's so awesome. Really cool action. There isn't too much depth to the movie, but I don't care. It felt like Indiana Jones meets Pirates of the Caribbean. They're going out. They're stuck on the boat. It's just an awesome adventure. I mean, there are a few like little things that are wrong with the movie, but overall, fantastic movie. It's one of my favorites. It's just one I can pick up and watch anytime. Tintin, yeah.
Cool.
You're number 7. You're number 6.
My number 6 is I am an ogre. Roar! Shrek 2. It's the second Shrek, not the first. Shrek 2 was the perfect sequel. It added more depth to the fairy tale world that Shrek is in. The Shrek world was already a depressive world with all the fairy tale characters together. But they made it larger. It was like Meet the Fockers with Shrek. It was cool because he has to meet the parents, their royalty, and it's also really emotional though. It's about like how he has to, learn to accept his appearance. This is to all the fat, ugly people out there. Well, don't think they'll ever get a girlfriend.
Whoa! You just crossed a line.
Shrek is for you people. Sorry. Sorry. Shrek isn't fat and ugly, so me for you guys. Basically, it's just, it's about accepting yourself and how, it's about friendship and family, and it is just so beautiful.
Okay, I really like Shrek 2, so I can't hate on it. I've heard it's a fantastic movie. It won the Oscar for best animated film, so I can't hate on Shrek 2. I'm sorry.
Good.
But
first on the list.
So I can't really talk about that either. I haven't even seen Meet the Fockers and Meet the Parents either. Screw comedies. But my number 6 is a film that I absolutely loved. I saw it 3 weeks before it came out because I know people, like Magnus here, and it was just an amazing, awesome experience. Big Hero 6, because we could be immortals. I mean,
didn't make my list sadly, but it
I had to watch it twice, like 2 periods in a row for class for no reason. I don't know why. My science teacher likes Big Hero 6, I guess. But you get into the story so much, and Baymax, oh my gosh, Baymax is so freaking adorable. Love that dude. So definitely one of my top movies, one of my favorite animated movies, just awesome movie, number 6.
The first film on my list, I think Ken will agree with. My number 5 is Up. Up is good.
I haven't seen that since it came out.
I've seen it. I've seen it tons of times. This film, it managed to be so sad yet so funny at the same time. Russell was there, Canada the comedy, a movie about a guy who gets to this South America without, any relates to physics whatsoever. He just really defies it. He lives his house with balloons. And, it's just a really sweet story. I mean, some might say it's emotionally manipulative. I would say no, because, the beginning is sad, but it's also really enjoyable. It's a beautiful movie, beautiful animation as well, and a really nice story. I love the character of Carl and Russell. Their relationship is really nice, and it's funny as well. It's a win-win. Pixar did it again. It's Up, number 5.
All right. My number 5 is a classic film. I haven't seen Up in a while, but definitely a fantastic film. My number 5 is a movie that, this really got me. I've just started watching a lot of animated movies recently, and this is the one that got me into them. The Little Mermaid. One of the best animated movies ever. Emotional depth, fantastic music, awesome characters, great villain. Just everything clicks for The Little Mermaid. We're getting into my top ones now. These are the pristines of my animated collection. Disney movies are some of my favorite movies. You'll see a few more of them up here. But Little Mermaid, my number 5.
Okay. I don't hate The Little Mermaid, I don't love it either. Okay, we're getting down to the top 4. These top 4 are anime movies I can watch end on end. My number 4 is probably one of the best superhero films. Behind that film over there, The Avengers. It is called The Incredibles. Da 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 da.
Oh, that's higher up on my list.
Nice. We finally agree. This film, literally, it got everything right. Honestly, I I love this film. It literally took the superhero genre. It was like a classic 80s superhero film with the music and everything. But it was also a great family movie. It literally, I can't praise this movie enough, honestly. It got the action right. It was just a really cool movie. And I spy thriller at some points, you know? Like when Mr. Incredible's like seeking out the place. Really cool story about revenge. This film honestly had everything you could want out of a live action superhero movie. But it was animated, so kids can watch it as well. Yay!
Yeah, The Incredibles, an awesome movie, period. That is just one of my favorite movies of, like, just period. I could watch that movie anytime, anywhere. It's just like, wow, this movie's amazing. Especially getting that setup where it's on that island. Oh my gosh, so riveting. But my number 4 is a movie you're not going to like, I said, but I don't care. This is a movie that I've seen God knows how many times. I just love watching this movie, no matter what. And this movie it came out sort of recently. I wasn't even interested in seeing it. I saw it because it was the only movie at my theater that had 3D. And I saw it and I was so riveted by Let Me Take You to Rio. I don't even know the song. Fantastic movie. Great human story. Fantastic music in the movie. Are you kidding me? I wanna party. Oh yeah, I wanna party. Just fantastic movie. Fantastic voice acting. The second one, we'll forget about the second one. The first one was amazing. Rio. Oh.
Rio wasn't that good.
I'm sorry it was. It was amazing. Just saying.
The most cliched story ever. I could literally...
It is not cliched. It is well done.
Okay. It's the guy, and he's the lost hope, and for the girl, they hate each other. Then they start to fall in love, and then when they're at the highest peak, they break off, and then they come back together, and they're instantly in love. That's
done with birds, though, which makes it unique. It's all from an animal's perspective. You're seeing an animal's perspective of the world. You're seeing a bird's perspective of, like, a human town. All the black market dealing and the carnival. I mean, really, like, all these fantastic landmarks. Like, they're jumping off the huge Jesus statue. So, like, the fact is, you're seeing like an animal's perspective of the world. It's so interesting.
It had beautiful animation and beautiful music and a beautiful location. But other than that, no, it's just like Lion King from you to me, you know? Like, I like it, but I don't love it, and I can't believe that it's this high on your list. Like, jeez.
I love this movie. I can watch this movie anytime. I have it on my iPad. I just press Rio, and I'm just watching it, like, every minute of every day. If I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I have nothing to do for 2 hours, I'll watch Rio.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought Caden was pissed about How to Train Your Dragon 2, you haven't seen nothing yet, because Magnus Carlsen's number 3 is...
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes! How to Train Your Dragon 1. And amazing movie. Beautiful, honestly. Hiccup, the story of Hiccup, he isn't accepted into his land. He being toothless, and they gain a relationship. It's a movie about their on-screen friendship and how they, and then action scenes at the end. Amazing. When you're flying, you feel like you're up in the sky with Toothless and Hiccup on their emotional journey to becoming friends and creating a bond between Vikings and dragons forever and stopping the fight. And it's about his family and how his dad doesn't respect him until he finally sees what he's doing. Hiccup finally makes friends. It's hilarious. Gobber, comedy relief, funniest character, honestly, and just the relationship between Toothless and Hiccup. And they don't whiz by either. You really believe the fact that these two, against all odds, become friends over time. And when they're at their lowest low, you feel for them. You want to cry with Hiccup because Toothless is going away. This film, it was beautiful. I loved how see, the second one didn't live up to this. It was super close though. In this film,
talk about a cliched story. I was on board with this movie for the majority for a bit of it, and then I mean the story's very cliched. I mean they're training and
you think Rio 2 is a beautiful number?
And then they have this they could have this really interesting confrontation with the father. But no, instead, they chose to have the big finale action sequence that had no relevance to the plot up to that point.
He does have a competition with the father!
And then the Vikings were fighting the dragons, but they weren't, and they were fighting the big dragon, and the dragons were fighting the dragons, but they were also fighting the Vikings. It just turned into a big, bloated mess at the finale. I can handle the beginning of it. I can't even handle the finale. How to Train Your Dragon is one of the most miserably bad movies ever created for animation. 100% the worst film. I will never watch that movie again.
Exactly. This is why you don't know. He comes his dad. Honestly, when he finally forgives his dad for being a jerk, Here's a spoiler, guys. Sorry, spoiler alert. Hiccup loses his leg. This film isn't kidding around. That's the consequence of book.
Who loses his freaking leg? Do I look like I care?
Yes, see, animated movies never have the balls to go there. This film did.
Can't fly in Rio, for crying out loud.
Hey, Louie, over here, Louie, come. Okay, this is my dog, guys. This is Louie. Louie, come on, Louie, come in.
Oh no.
Louie, he's gonna tell you that How to Train Your Dragon 2 is an amazing movie, right, Louie?
Oh no.
Okay.
This is a freaking Pico.
How to Train Your Dragon is an amazing movie, honestly. I loved it. The emotion is there. Everything is there. But you don't like it, Kaden, baffles me. It's not cliched. So much confronting the emotional journey, and he loses his leg. Okay.
All
You
right,
feel
they're basically a bit more civilized than this. My number 3 is a film that I saw very recently, and it's just an awesome movie in general. Like, just the way it's done, fantastic, like, acting. Aladdin.
good movie.
This whole movie, and even without Robin Williams, it's a cool movie. It's a great story, but Robin Williams just adds that extra layer of comedy to it, needed to make it like a classic movie. His whole voice acting thing, 10,000 years will give you such a creak in the neck. I mean, fantastic. The final battle was perfect, the way it was set up. Jafar was the best villain ever. Fantastic. Aladdin, yes.
It was decent. We'll put it at that.
Oh my gosh, how can you not love Aladdin?
Okay, I liked it. It was a fun movie.
And the freaking tiger, I don't get what, one thing I don't get about the movie is why she'd leave the tiger, not bring the tiger with her when she goes over the wall. I love, bring the freaking tiger. I love that tiger. I want to have that tiger.
My number 2 is a film that's lower on your list, so we finally agree. The Adventures of Tintin.
Okay,
This film was great. Honestly, this just brought the fun back into film, you know? With some might say the animation style is creepy. I think I liked it because with Tintin you need the features to be slightly exaggerated, but you still want it to look kind of realistic. So I love the animation. And just the action sequences and the adventure aspect. This literally was Indiana Jones, like the new generation almost. Honestly, yeah. It just brought the fun back into adventure movies. Honestly, it's like those adventure movies where you're just like, let's just sit down, have an adventure. Tintin was that film, and it did it perfectly. Some might say the character Tintin wasn't well realized. Maybe they're right, but honestly, I just love the story of Tintin, his dog, and Captain Haddock. Great movie, great adventure movie, and now I want to watch it again.
You know, people are like saying, like, you know, there's not enough character development. You're right, there isn't, but the fact is, the movie's just so fun and just so exhilarating that I don't even mind it. I'm just like, I don't care. I just want to watch people blowing up stuff. So my number 2, movie you had lower down on your list, not too far lower, but just a bit lower. And this is a movie we definitely both agree on. This is a movie that I could scorn for most of my life. And then I saw it recently. I saw it recently, I think with my dad, and I was like, oh, this movie's good. It's cool. And then I just saw it again in my class. For some reason, my teacher was showing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I absolutely just loved this movie. The beginning of this movie is amazing. It pulses you. The Incredibles.
Love The Incredibles. You are my
I've just been getting back into Disney Pixar and starting to watch all their movies again after the 5 years that every adolescent spends scoring animated movies. But The Incredibles is so well done. It's fun, it's comic booky, it's exhilarating, and it's just a cool story. It's totally believable that if superheroes were here, that's what would have happened. That first scene, oh my gosh, with like Superboy, Bon Voyage, I mean, it's just a ball of fun that you have to watch. And that's what all Pixar films at that time are. They're just balls of fun. That's what I'm hoping Inside Out is going to be later this year. Incredibles, fantastic.
Love it, love it, love it. I really do. But not as cool as my number 1 movie. Everybody, my number 1 movie, I don't know what Caden thinks about this movie. I don't even know if Caden has seen this movie. I hope he has. This is the first film I ever saw, actually. And it's one of those films every 3 years I watch it, and I'm like, does it hold up? Yes, it does. I notice more things, and it's just one of the best animated journeys I've ever been on. Talk about adventure, honestly. This film brought it all. It was a hurdle movie, but it did it well. You meet so many characters, and it just made the ocean a real living and breathing place. Finding Nemo, everybody. This is why I'm so hyped for Finding Dory. Finding Nemo was amazing, honestly. They got everything right. It was just a beautiful film between Marlon and his son, and Dory, hilarious character, honestly. She almost makes this movie. But then you have all these other supporting characters that they run into, like Bruce and his shark gang, and they're trying to be vegetarians. Like, who came up with that? That's hilarious. And the turtles, dude, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, yeah, they all talk like surfer dudes now. And just honestly, the whole film was literally, like, you're rooting for Marlon. You want him to get back to his son, Finding Nemo. Brilliant.
You know, I really like Finding Nemo. It's I haven't seen it in a while, but it's definitely one that really hilarious. Definitely one I want to check out. I don't have much of an opinion on that movie because I haven't seen it in a while. This is a movie that my movie is one that I've loved ever since it came out. I saw it in the theater, seen it 900 times since then. I just rewatched it, and talk about a ball of fun. This movie is sometimes ridiculous and sometimes amazing, but it's one that I can sit down, I can watch, and it's just quirky and it's just cool. Linguine, Ratatouille.
Love Ratatouille, but I didn't think you liked it that much.
You didn't even put it on your list. Ratatouille is a fantastic movie. Well done, rats and the human dilemma. There's some fantastic scenes. All the characters are fantastic. I love the not the film critic, the food critic. Fantastically well done. I love that Gusteau is like a part of Remy's imagination. I love that the rat's name is Remy. I had a dog named Remy for the longest time. Love that movie so much. Ratatouille. Love Ratatouille. They should like make like a restaurant like Disneyland or California Adventure, just like a Ratatouille restaurant. Fantastic. Love that movie. Ratatouille. My #1 animated movie.
Comment wrong Ratatouille. Fun movie, so I agree with you on that. Now let's get out to the debate, people. This is why you came here.
Alright. So I have a timer right here, so here's what we'll do. We'll each have 3 minutes to make our argument, our opening argument. We'll banter for about 2 minutes, and then we'll each have 1 minute close, or 1.5 minute, 2 minute closing statements. All right.
And then let me know who wins.
Yeah, whoever drops first wins.
Right, and if by our closing arguments we still have to come to a decision, then we'll just keep debating and shouting at each other until one of us falters or has a split second of and then that other person is the winner.
All right. So for our first debate, this is very relevant. So Avengers: Age of Ultron is coming out soon. What movie will make more money on its opening weekend? Avengers: Age of Ultron or Star Wars: The Force Awakens? Magnus, you're first. 3 minutes starting now.
Advocating for Avengers: Age of Ultron, Magnus Fulton here, everybody. So yeah, Star Wars: Force Awakens hasn't come out in ages, sure. And now it's coming out. It's a big deal. But Avengers: Age of Ultron is a bigger deal because it is catering to the new generation of people who go to the movies more, honestly. A ton of old people aren't going to be like, okay, Star Wars is coming back. Maybe I'll just wait for DVD. In terms of opening weekend, everyone's going to be seeing Avengers: Age of Ultron. And if not, people are going to be seeing it multiple times during the weekend, honestly. They're going to be, honestly, this is like an event. If you remember the first Avengers: Age of Ultron, it literally made like 207 million opening weekend. And the new film is set to make 217 million opening weekend. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Here's the thing. Fun movie. Honestly, Star Wars has already come back. Everybody's like, this is the big return of Star Wars. No! The Phantom Menace was also a big return of Star Wars. And that film didn't make 207 million opening day, guys. Come on. Really? And, people are disappointed. What if people go into this feeling like the Phantom Menace, where they're like, oh, maybe it's not as good. What if people skip it? In terms of the new generation of people, people are going to be going to Avengers: Age of Ultron, I think, over this. They're going to be a ton of kids, and they're going to be like, you know what, let's choose Age of Ultron first if we have time. So bang for the money, Everyone's going to be going to Age of Ultron. This is the cool thing now. Star Wars is almost a thing of the past for some people. I know a ton of kids in my day, and yeah, Star Wars is people love it, and it's going to make a ton of money. There's no denying that. And it probably will make more money in the long run because it's coming out in December and it has January and February to itself. But in terms of opening weekend, Avengers: Age of Ultron will take the cake. And I said yes. Sorry, I'm kind of flabbergasted. There we go.
I'll start on my 3-minute construction. All right. So first, I will rebut Magnus's points and then go to my own points. He says that Avengers will be catering to a new generation. The new generation is going to go out to see both movies. The new generation loves Star Wars. They love the Avengers. It's really a non-factor. It's like the Republicans and Democrats in a presidential election. They both do the same thing. The independents decide it. People are waiting for Star Wars on DVD. I 100% disagree. People haven't seen a Star Wars movie since 2005, and that wasn't even a good one. Last time people saw an Avengers movie was 2012. People are going to want to see this opening weekend. People are going to have a desire to see this opening weekend, the same way they had a desire to see Return of the Jedi opening weekend after Han Solo. They wanted to know what happened to Han Solo. So, an event. You want to talk about an event. Star Wars is a culture. They have a celebration every year. I don't see a Marvel celebration anywhere. Star Wars is a culture. That's why people are going to go see it opening weekend. You're saying Phantom Menace was the big return of Star Wars. Fortunately, it wasn't that good. Now, this is the opportunity to get a really awesome Star Wars movie, and Phantom Menace actually made a ton of money opening weekend, and people camped out for it. And kids will choose Age of Ultron. As I said, kids are a non-factor. So let's get started with my 3 points. To start, Star Wars is more universal. More people like Star Wars. Avengers Age of Ultron caters to the newer generation. If you ask people who were kids when Star Wars came out, they might say, oh yeah, I saw Avengers, it was cool. But Star Wars is a certain thing to them. They grew up with Star Wars. They're going to be like, okay, I'm going to see Star Wars opening weekend. And that's definitely what the majority of people are going to say. Because remember, it's not all kids. It's adults too. Adults make a larger percentage of the world, and more of them are going to want to see Star Wars opening weekend. My next point, comic book movies are oversaturating the market. This will be the first Star Wars movie since 2005. That has been 10 years. The last big comic book movie that came out, 2 big ones came out last year. Iron Man 3 came out the year before, and Avengers came out. People keep going to these, but it's not as big of an event anymore because they all come out. It's not as like, oh my gosh, I have to camp out and I have to wait for 10 years for the one day where Star Wars is going to come out. Avengers, it could be, oh, I'll see it next weekend, whatever. It's still going to be in theaters. The better release date is, in my opinion, for Star Wars for Christmas. December 18th is right when everybody gets out of school. So the movie will be debuting right as everybody's out of school, rather than May when everyone's still in school. And not to talk about kids, not to mention family will be coming into town for Christmas. What am I going to do with my family the week before Christmas when we have nothing to do? Let's go see Star Wars. Everybody wants to see Star Wars.
Counter argument.
For those reasons, Star Wars is a much better choice, a much better film. All right, we will.
Okay, so you say it's
2 minutes to banter. Go.
You say it's the holidays, so people are gonna wanna, see it because they have nothing to do. Lots of people go away during the holidays. Lots of people go to their friends. Lots of people go to, their families' houses across the world.
And they're gonna go away on the holidays than they do on May 1st. You can
see why did Frozen do so well? It's because everybody was gone for Thanksgiving during the holidays, but it made more money in the long run because when people were home, they're like, hey, that Frozen movie, let's do it. This is an argument about opening weekend, not long term. And here's the thing,
when you're away with your family, it's the best thing to do when you have nothing to do the week before Christmas. Are you kidding? Are more people going to be traveling on December 18th than they are on May 1st? Can you at least concede that?
Well, first look at this. You like IMDb. You always use it as a source. Hey, look at this. It's a poll. Avengers Age of Ultron is beating Star Wars The Force Awakens. Just using that against you.
That doesn't matter. According to our debate, that's a piece of non-info.
It is. And also, here's the thing. Last time people saw a Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Sith, most people didn't like it. They were kind of crushed by it. Last time people saw an Avengers movie, it was amazing. And if anything, they brought more people on. The first Captain America movie didn't do as well. The second one was huge. Think of all the people who watched Captain America, Thor: The Dark World, and Iron Man. And they're all going to be seeing Avengers.
What you're forgetting is that Star Wars is a space opera. Star Wars is the ultimate universe that transcends over everything. Avengers, it's recent and it's newer, but the whole new generation of people are going to be at Avengers. A whole new crowd is going to be going to see Star Wars. It's going to make so much money opening weekend. Avengers, it'll make money. Of course it'll make money. But, for example, I'm going to just use people who never go to the movies. It's Star Wars, so they're going to go see it. Because this is going to be the grand return of Star Wars. All the people who saw The Phantom Menace, which made a ton of money, made over $1 billion. So, fantastic. I 100% believe. And not to mention, you're saying Phantom Menace didn't make his Avengers. That's ridiculous because it was different time periods.
So, no, honestly, a ton of movies back in the day made a ton of money. And also, no film has ever grossed that much money in December. May is the kickoff of the summer. This is the film.
Really? No movie has ever grossed that much during December. May I just recall Titanic and Avatar, the 2 most grossing movies of all time, both debuted in what?
We're talking opening weekend! Avatar made like 60 million opening weekend. It hardly made anything in December. That's because December is a slow month.
You just said no movie has ever made that much in December. And I'm saying that the 2 highest grossing movies debuted in December. It's a much better release date.
This is an opening weekend
movies ever debuted in December. Titanic, Avatar. Deal with it. All right, we're moving on to our
about the opening weekend, Kaden. Avatar didn't even make half as much as the Avengers opening weekend. Didn't you know it? We're talking about opening weekend here. Honestly, in the long run, I do think Star Wars will make more.
Star Wars. It doesn't have the appeal that Star Wars has. You get your closing argument. You get 2 minutes to make your closing argument. Make your case, because you need to make one.
Yes, I do think Star Wars is going to make more in the long run. That is true. But here's the thing. Avengers kick off the summer. Everybody is going to be home. Everybody's going to have just been at school. And they're like, hey, we're here during the weekend. Let's all watch Avengers Age of Ultron because we're here. During December, it's going to be the week before Christmas. And everybody's going to be away. We're going to be in Hawaii somewhere, and they're not going to have a huge rush to go to the movie theater. So opening weekend, no. In the long run, yes, because everybody who was at Christmas and the holidays are going to...
Magnus? Magnus? Oh, well. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I'm terribly sorry about this. Magnus? Magnus!
Well, where was I? Mr. the Grand Return of Avengers is coming back, okay? Avengers is coming back. And it's going to be epic, okay? Everybody saw the Avengers 1. And if anything, everybody who saw Avengers 1 is going to say to their pal, hey, come and see Avengers 2. It's going to be awesome. Star Wars, some people are going to be like, well, I've been kind of killed by Star Wars in the past. Nobody has been killed by the Avengers yet. The MCU has not faltered once yet, okay? Everybody loves it. Star Wars, they have killed people with 3 bad movies. Revenge of the Sith was mediocre, but still everything else is like, So Grand Return of Star Wars, people are like, oh, well, I'm kind of skeptical. This is on par for me with, like, Terminator Genesis or Jurassic World, because each of these franchises have had bad movies. If Avengers Age of Ultron is, like, mediocre, then maybe not as many people will come back for the third one. But as far as I know, this one was just building hype. Everybody's talking about it. Honestly, in terms of trailer views, nobody's talking about Star Wars on the internet. Everyone's talking about Avengers, because this is the new hip thing, okay? Star Wars is cool, but it's almost ancient. We want to look through the now, and since Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the highest-grossing movies of last year, people are like, hey, that's part of the MCU. Avengers, oh my god, Avengers! Avengers! This one was going to make so much money, it's not even funny. In terms of long run, yes, I agree with you. Star Wars will make more money in the long run. In terms of opening weekend, everyone is going to be home, kick off of the summer. You have no idea. It's Avengers. Woo!
Timer's done. All right. So I'm just going to wrap this up into 2 things. Movies that your parents will drag you to, and movies will drag your... No. I hear my closing argument. Shush. Movies will drag your parents to, and movies parents will drag you to. Now, just to start, Star Wars is a movie that parents have seen over and over. They lived it in their childhood. Avengers is a movie that kids are more excited about. So if parents are saying, come on, let's see Star Wars, and the kid's sort of excited about it, like, yeah, sure, rather than the kids saying, hey, Dad, let's go see Avengers, and the dad's like, oh, okay. Not to mention, whole families will go see Star Wars rather than a father and a son seeing Avengers. That's twice as much cash flow. All right, so you were just talking about how summer is perfect because everyone's out of school. May 1st is when the Avengers Age of Ultron debuts. I don't get out of school until June. I know college kids don't get out of school until the end of May. So the fact is, you're totally wrong. Everyone's still going to be in school. Everyone's going to be studying for their tests or whatever they're doing. Now, you're saying everyone saw Avengers, right? And a lot of people did see Avengers. But compare that to the amount of people who've seen freaking Star Wars. More people have seen Star Wars than Avengers. It's more of a cultural phenomenon. Everyone's going to come out to see Star Wars. People who don't even see movies are going to come out to see Star Wars. But whereas Avengers is just going to be like, whatever. And a movie, like I said, a movie that parents and kids will see together is Star Wars. A movie that kids will drive their parents to is Avengers. So for those reasons, the reasons that I stated, the reason that Magnus has not sufficiently rebutted any of my points, the fact that he did not sufficiently rebut Star Wars is more universal, he didn't rebut that comic book movies are oversaturating the market, he never mentioned that point.
I said
his rebuttal for the release date for Christmas was plainly ridiculous. The fact is, more people are going to see Star Wars because it's on holiday, and the fact is they get off of school. Even if they're not going away, they're off of school. More people are going to go see a movie than when you're at school on May 1st. That is why Star Wars is going to make more money over a weekend than Avengers Age of Ultron. My time's up. That's why I won.
Wait, may I let you know that honestly, kids get out of school on Friday. They're not going to study for tests. Friday night is where kids live.
They're going to be studying for their tests. You know what happens in May? What happens in May is that everyone gets tested, right? Especially at the beginning of May. Everyone's getting tested for the STAR tests or the SATs. Everyone's going to be
let me know.
Avengers Age of Ultron. Whereas in Christmas, it's earlier in the school year. They just got off break. They have no homework. Let's go see Star Wars.
Let me tell you, okay, most kids in the state of the USA don't get out until the 21st of December. Star Wars comes out on the 18th, so kids are still going to be in school, Caden, so that completely takes out your argument.
Is actually, that's irrelevant because people get out on a Friday. The 18th is a Friday. The 21st is what, a Tuesday or a Monday?
No, if kids get out, they're going to be enjoying themselves in the moment. They're not going to be seeing Star Wars.
The fact is, they're going to get out that week because that's 2 weeks before Christmas. That's the exact week that everybody gets out. The dates change every single year. And I mean, the fact is, more people are going to be up here. But very honestly, I think we have to end this because this is never going to get anywhere. The fact is, I believe I've made all my arguments sufficiently. The fact is, you believe you've made all your arguments sufficiently, and we don't have a judge. So
let's let the internet judge.
All right. So comment. Who do you think won this debate? Me or Magnus? So let us know. Comment below on this video, and we'll tell you next week who actually won the debate according to the fans.
Can I just have a one last minute thing?
No, you can't. The debate is freaking over.
This is new. There's a new cast in Star Wars, okay? It's a new cast that not many people know about, so they're not going to have that drag.
Yes, we're the old cast. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher are still in it.
I know, but they're all going to be old. They're old. Nobody cares.
How are you doing? All right. So our next debate is, what is the best Will Ferrell movie? All right. So Magnus will be representing Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. I will be representing Elf. All right, this is a tough game. I'm gonna get my points started with my 3-minute constructive. All right, so Elf, Anchorman's a fine movie and everything, but Elf is a more watched movie. It has its place. Every holiday season, I watch Elf. It's like the movie that I watch. More people watch Elf on the holidays, and it's more accessible. More people can watch it. It's a watch movie. I watch it every holiday season. It's like my thing. That's what people do. Elf is a cult classic movie in the fact that they watch it every holiday season. It has its place. During Christmas time, all everyone's putting on is Elf. Elf, Elf, Elf. That's because it's such a cult Christmas movie. It's one that for the ages. It's like a Home Alone that people can just watch. Anchorman doesn't have as much of a place in society as a certain time where everybody can watch it. All right. Now, critics also liked Elf more. Let me just say, Elf was initially an awesome hit. Anchorman was a movie that people thought was not very good for a long time, until people were like, this is kind of good, let's make a sequel. And everyone likes the sequel. But the first one did not get very much love at all, a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is nearly a rotten rating, whereas Elf had an 84%. People loved it. It's a cool holiday movie. It's a fun movie to see with your families, but it also has adult humor as well. Whereas Anchorman, the whole thing is adult humor. You can't even bring an 8-year-old to see it because, that would not be something you want to see your 8-year-old seeing before he takes life science. So the fact is, critics like more audiences like the original Elf more than Anchorman. It's more one that they figured out, it's kind of cool later, but when they initially saw it, they were kind of like, yuck. And for now, my third point, Elf is a more accessible movie. Anchorman, I don't know, maybe 13-year-olds like us, we watch crude comedies like that. But younger kids, no, they don't. Are you watching a movie with your family on family movie night? You're not going to watch Anchorman. You're going to watch Elf on Christmas Eve, the night before Christmas, when Santa brings you all your freaking toys. So the fact is, Elf is a more enjoyable movie. It's a fantastic movie for kids, and one that adults can enjoy too. Whereas Anchorman is one that only adults can enjoy, and they have to enjoy by themselves, sitting in their little man cave eating chips and a hot dog. So the fact is, Elf is a more accessible movie. It's a more watched movie. It knows its place in society, and people liked it more. So the fact is, Elf is the better movie. All right, now at the end of my constructive Magnus, your 3 minutes. Start now.
Okay. The fact is, Caden, all you were talking about is if audiences like Anchorman or not. That isn't the case. We're talking about what is the better movie. And here's the thing. Elf only gets watched in the holiday season. Anchorman doesn't need one because people just watch it all the time. Anchorman is a funny movie that has been held over. Do you ever hear people call Elf? No. Do you ever hear people call Anchorman? Anchorman is in society. People use its quotes all the time. It's a thing. It's in society. People love it. It's up there with one of the best comedies. And hey, if you say I can't use IMDb as a source, you can't use Rotten Tomatoes, okay? Critics don't matter in this debate, okay? Critics just don't matter at all if IMDb doesn't matter and the people don't matter. Also, Anchorman is just the funnier movie. Honestly, Elf, I can't think of any kids who like Elf, to be honest. Honestly,
You know one right here, and I know you like Elf.
I hate Elf. That's why I didn't choose it. Honestly, every holiday season, people are going to be watching Home Alone, not Elf. Nobody cares about Elf, okay?
Anchorman love Elf.
Hey, you want to know what season people watch Anchorman? It's called all the time. You can't watch Elf any other time because it's a holiday movie. And you're like, let's not watch it. Actually, no. At the holiday, let's just not watch Elf. Let's watch Home Alone. Anchorman, it is held longer time. People got it, and guess what? Anchorman got a sequel. Elf didn't, which obviously means that people liked Anchorman more than Elf.
If Elf just had a better conclusion to the movie, you could say that it ended on a better note.
Anchorman had a good conclusion as well. People love Anchorman. People quote it all the time. It's a thing used in society. It's on the level of films that, like, what films are used all the time in society? I don't know. Like the Avengers and Star Wars, you know? Films that are always constantly quoted and referred to. Anchorman is that movie. Have you seen a ton of t-shirts of Anchorman quotes? I have, in every single store. Have you seen places with quotes of Elf? No, I haven't. See, Elf might be kid-friendly, but we're not talking about that. In terms of everybody I know, if I'm like, hey, let's sit down and watch Anchorman, everybody's like, yeah, let's sit down and watch Anchorman. It's a fun movie, it's funny, and it's a commentary on news. And it's set in San Diego, where you live, Kate, so I don't know why you don't like Anchorman. It is a commentary on news in the news world, and it makes you actually think. It's like that. News actually is like that. News is actually a bit stupid. Where has the good news gone? It makes you think, and it's hilarious at the same time. It's good dialogue. All four characters work well together. Great dynamic between all of them. And Will Ferrell definitely gives it his all. Definitely one of his funniest films and his best, I have to say. And it got a sequel. Elf didn't. There. That's my conclusion.
All right. So now we're going to do our 2-minute cross banter. All right. So I'm just writing down my notes right here. So let's just get started. You just said that people watch Anchorman all the time. So you're saying that people watch a less accessible movie more than they watch a more accessible movie, which is completely ridiculous. Also, you said that Anchorman is in society and you've seen quotes. I've never gone to a store and seen quotes with Anchorman on it. I've gone to a holiday store and I've seen quotes from Elf on it. But the children love the books. And then you have, hi, my name's Buddy, what's your favorite color? They're dancing around in the mailroom. This is all stuff I've seen before. The whole Christmas spirit thing, my gosh, I see that a lot more than I see Anchorman news stuff. Might I also point out that you said critics do not matter, which is completely irrelevant considering we both are.
You always use this in your favorite. Honestly, if I was using critics against Anchorman, you'd be like, no, critics don't matter. Because you said IMDb,
I'm not saying that critics don't matter. I'm just saying that according to Rotten Tomatoes, I use that as evidence to help my case, which the fact is that Rotten Tomatoes is a good odometer of whether movies are good or bad. And according to that, Elf was a fantastic movie, and Anchorman was an okay movie.
I used evidence of IMDb, and you said that doesn't matter, so you can't use sources like
I never said that IMDb doesn't matter. I like IMDb.
I know, but you just said that can't be used in my debate as to how.
I never said that. I never said that.
Yeah, that's irrelevant to the argument. That can't be used. So Rotten Tomatoes can't be used for you, and you can't deny that.
I use that as evidence to support my case. We forgot about that. All right. You said you also. Wait, I'm glad I pointed to make it sound how ridiculous you are. You said Anchorman is on the level of Star Wars and the Avengers, and it's a commentary on news. Talk about a commentary on Christmas. People losing their Christmas spirit.
It has to get back. Guess what?
Chanel. It's a commentary on whether people believe in Santa anymore, and it's a commentary about gimbals, for crying out loud. And then also, you said Will Ferrell is funnier in Anchorman. Some of his best stand-up comedy, where he's the gunman, the coffee, all done in Elf.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, Anchorman has some of the most quoted lines ever in film history. Honestly, I'm too awesome. No, okay, we're gonna keep this going because you spoke for the most time. And also, the thing is, Elf, literally, it's a fun movie. I'll give it that. Here's the thing: you haven't even seen Anchorman, so you don't even know if it's a commentary on news or not. So you can't say anything.
That's irrelevant at this point.
You can't go. Anchorman's better.
Elf is a lot better. All right. Now we're getting into our rebuttals. All right, so I'm going to start off with my rebuttal. I'm going to go very simple. I'm just going to 2 points rebutted. Magnus hasn't really made many points. He hasn't made them in any organized fashion, but...
Yes, I have.
He said that people watch Anchorman all the time. I rebutted that in my opening speech by saying that Elf is a movie that knows its place in society. It's watched at a certain time. He said that Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter. He backed it up with IMDb, yet he never said any statistics for IMDb. He never said if it actually has a higher rating on IMDb, which he doesn't know, which shows what he knows. All right. He also said that critics don't matter. As a matter of fact, critics definitely influence whether people go see movies. So the fact is, he's going off the bend a bit. He said Anchorman is on the level of Star Wars or the Avengers. And if you look at the openings for Anchorman, Anchorman made, what, 66 million? I think so. I just looked at the statistics. And its worldwide gross, the first one, where Avengers made, what, $1 billion. It's not on the level of the Avengers. It's not on the level of Star Wars. The second one isn't either. It's a cutesy little comedy. Elf at least knows its place. It's a fun holiday movie, and it's broken through because of that. It's broken through with Anchorman. A commentary on news. He's talking about a commentary on news. Nobody cares about the news anymore. Diane Sawyer left ABC. Screw it all. Brian Williams left NBC. All the good hosts are gone. All anybody cares about is Christmas. Christmas is the best time of the year. That's why you need to watch Elf instead of Anchorman, because it is the better movie. It's funnier, more accessible for families. It's easier to watch. And not to mention, you said that Will Ferrell is funnier in Anchorman. Completely ridiculous. Will Ferrell is awesome in Elf. And the fact that you don't even like the stand-up comedy or the comedy in that movie shows what you know about film. All right. So he never rebutted my most accessible movie. He never rebutted more watch movie, or at least gave a stupid rebuttal for it. So for those reasons, the fact that I have made a perfectly clean case, and Magnus says that it's not.
What did I
Magnus made his case off of rebutting mine, and not off of actually his own points of my Anchorman is good.
What did I rebuttal? What did I rebuttal?
All right, we're starting your constructive speech.
What did I rebuttal, kid? What did I rebuttal?
What I'm saying is that you didn't rebuttal that it was the most watched movie. I'm also saying that your case is all done on how my movie is worse than yours, but you've never made any points on solidly why yours.
I said Anchorman is a funnier movie. I said it's a commentary on news. I say it's funnier. It has more quotes. Honestly, it has the core four cast: Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, the guy in the cowboy, and
the children love the books. It's a raccoon. Are you kidding me? So.
Hey, my face! You can't interrupt!
Hi, my name's Bunny.
You can't interrupt me! Kaden, you're disqualified for interrupting my... Okay? Anchorman is a funnier movie, okay? It just has more relatable light. Honestly, it's a story of the news. It's a story of these people. And it is ridiculous, I agree. But it has the four main parts to back it up. Elf just as Will Ferrell, and then he jumps into a house family. He's like, hey guys, Anchorman is just about these four dudes, so it's relatable to any gang of people who, like to hang out. They're all funny, they all work well together, they bounce off each other. Will Ferrell kind of just carries Elf by himself. In this film, he has three other funny dudes to help back him up in the comedy. So it's funnier, it has better...
Well, Can is funny, Louis Deschanel isn't funny.
Go up to anyone in the street and say, hey, seen Anchorman? Like, yeah, funny as hell. And then you're like, hey, name a quote. And they'll probably be like, I'm too awesome, or my mustache, it looks nice, or, Elf, you'll be like, hey, have you seen Elf? Like, well, I saw it when I was little, and I never really wanted to see it since, because I watch Home Alone every Christmas, not Elf, or, hey, I watch the Santa Claus every Christmas, not Elf, because nobody remembers Elf.
Santa Claus, nobody cares about Tim Allen.
Well, I don't care, I'm just saying, I think I probably would rather watch the Santa Claus than Elf, okay? You say I don't rebuttal you, I'm saying Elf is, I'm arguing my own statement. It is funnier comedy, the four main characters to back each other up, they're all hilarious, and they just bounce off each other really well, and the final ending scene, it's ridiculous, but it works for the movie, and people love it. This is why people still love it to this day. It has a cult following. It might not have made as much opening weekend, but that doesn't matter. It's the better movie, and people love it.
Your time has expired. Alright, guys, so...
You ruined half my time!
Vote in the comments section on who you think won this debate. Was it me or was it Magnus? Is it Elf or Anchorman? Please say Elf. Alright, so the next one we're going to get to today, our last debate of the day before our top 5 list, full of debate, arguing, and controversy this episode, very much so. The best movie franchise based on a book. Now Magnus, he's going for the classic one, he's going for Lord of the Rings. I'm being creative, and I'm saying Harry Potter. And Magnus, you start here, 3 minutes.
Wait, can I just say, me and Caden both love each of these franchises. I don't think we're crapping on the other.
Yes, 100%.
We're just doing what we can to win, okay? So this isn't gonna be easy for either of us because we both love these both franchises, and it was a tough time choosing who picked who. But these are the best two.
Alright, time to get started.
Okay. Lord of the Rings. I'm just gonna talk about why Lord of the Rings is great. Lord of the Rings, honestly. So here's the thing. Tolkien, he wrote the books, and they were great books. But honestly, what I see as the best book-to-screen adaptation is how well you adapt it to the screen. And Peter Jackson, adapting Middle-earth to the screen is all him. The way he just makes it a landscape. You want to be in Middle-earth. I love the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but I don't think it's as immersive as the world of Middle-earth. You want to find out more about it. It has all this lore that Peter Jackson created for you. And the characters... The emotion is there of all the characters, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli. You want to know more about this world. This is why people are such freaks about it. They want to learn about this entire world. And they're all free movies. It isn't dragged out or anything. It's free. nice, long movies, they're long, but they're just epic in scale, and you want to know what happens next, the characters, the friction between all of them. This is an acclaimed franchise. The people follow forever. This is why I always brought back for The Hobbit, because people watched it. And people are so loyal to Lord of the Rings that they don't even like The Hobbit as much. It hits every note you like. And the finale, what can I say? It's just emotional as heck. People were crying when they were leaving the theater, from what my dad said, because it was just an ending. And yeah, sure, people cried at Harry Potter, but Lord of the Rings was more of a masterpiece in the fact that Peter Jackson fully took these books and made them into something more than just the books. He made them into an experience, a major motion picture event that came out each consecutive year, and they were just amazing, I have to say. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right. So I'm going to get started. First, I'm going to start by rebutting Magnus's arguments before I get to my own. Just say, love Harry Potter. I love Lord of the Rings. That being said, let's get started. If we look at the resolution here, best movie franchise based on a book, or adapted from a book. You just conceded your whole speech was about how amazing Peter Jackson made Middle-earth, about how amazing the world was, all of which was not in the book. That is not really as good of an adaptation. Harry Potter was adapted so brilliantly from book to page. It was nearly seamless. People who hadn't even read the books could watch the movies and still get the story of the books. It's the exact same story. Lord of the Rings is totally different. The fact is, you said, Lord of the Rings is all Peter Jackson. That's a direct quote. Peter Jackson created the Lord of the Rings lore. The movie, Peter Jackson created a world. And basically, all of that was all about how Peter Jackson is so great, but really you're not talking about how it was adapted from a book to a film. In the movie, it was epic in scale. There's friction, of course there was. It's Lord of the Rings, and the finale was emotional. It was. And it was a masterpiece, it was, but I think Harry Potter was more of a masterpiece, and here's why. Harry Potter is more of a human story. Lord of the Rings, it's big and it's grand and it's epic, but Harry Potter focuses on one boy and his journey through life. It's as if boyhood was put through tons of movies, and it's in a magical world. Everyone loves the boy's journey. It's the hero's journey. He goes on an adventure. It's more centered around a character. Lord of the Rings is more centered around an ensemble. It's not as emotional. Lord of the Rings also can get very slow and, dragged on with the trees, and we spent a whole movie talking to trees. However, Harry Potter is always quick and it's always entertaining. When you're adapting Lord of the Rings books, there's so much extra material Peter Jackson had to add in. Once again, not a faithful adaptation. But the fact is, Lord of the Rings can get slow. Harry Potter's always entertaining. It's quick, it's fast, even when the material isn't so great, like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's still fun, and it's awesome, and you're still into the story, especially that final battle. And talk about a final battle. We want to talk about a final battle. We will talk about the final battle at Hogwarts, and not the battle in Lord of the Rings, because the Hogwarts battle was a lot cooler. And also, might I point out, Harry Potter stayed true to the books. Lord of the Rings went off on their own little tangent about, whatever, but Harry Potter stayed true to the books. It had the same thing as the books. It was a better adaptation. We're talking about what is the better adaptation. Harry Potter is a better adaptation. Lord of the Rings is all Peter Jackson, like you said, and it doesn't really rely on the books, whereas Harry Potter does, because it's a better adaptation. That's what Harry Potter, a better movie, is a better movie based on a book, better adaptation than Lord of the Rings.
Right. All right. No, yeah, good argument. I have to say. Here's the thing. So you say that you just said that I said it was all Peter Jackson. Yes, it was, because Peter Jackson took the world that was written about in a book and he translated it. That is, I think, the best book-to-screen adaptation. Harry Potter relied too heavily on the books, for knowledge. They just took the movies and took the books, put them on the screen. Peter Jackson imagined this world. He literally took the writing.
It's all Peter Jackson. Nothing has to do with J.R.R. Tolkien. Screw J.R.R. Tolkien. It's all Peter Jackson.
Yeah, but that's not the whole point.
He doesn't build on anything. He makes his own thing with the tools that Tolkien used him. Tolkien gave him a screwdriver and he made a door. Whereas Harry Potter crew stayed faithful to what they were doing.
He still used the whole world, honestly. Fine, if you wanted him to be loyal to the books, Middle-earth would have been nothing. You want to be immersed into this world. If it was going to be a book-to-screen adaptation like you're saying, like you're describing it, it would literally just be, it's a bland, plain, oh boy, Middle-earth.
Exactly, you're saying the book wasn't very good, so that is why they had to change everything for the movie, meaning it wasn't a worthy book to be adapted. But it was a worthy book to be adapted because the world was there. They recreated it.
He made Middle-earth a realization. He made Middle-earth from realizations. The script that wasn't there. Harry Potter, it just had Hogwarts. Okay, here's the thing. Harry Potter just had Hogwarts. That's all it was. Had Hogwarts and Hogwarts.
Talk about you forgetting Diagon Alley. You're talking about the whole world that Half-Blood Prince created.
But most
was a Ministry of Magic figure for getting at this point.
Hidden. Most of every film takes place in Hogwarts, and that's it. Middle-earth, it's free movie, and it takes place over everywhere. Middle-earth, this is a whole world Peter Jackson has created.
Even though most of the movies take place at Hogwarts, it's a more combined thing, and you get more into Hogwarts. You feel like you're at Hogwarts. Lord of the Rings, you're constantly traveling to different places that you could care less about. Harry Potter, you're in the one location, and you get into the one location. You know Hogwarts like the back of your hand by the end of the 8 movies.
You feel like you're in a world. You feel like you're in a world. And you say that...
You feel like you're in Harry Potter. You feel like you're in your own special school.
You say Harry Potter... You say Lord of the Rings is slow. It is free. All talk. Harry Potter is quick. Are you kidding me? Harry Potter is 8 movies. And some might say they don't run too long. Like Chamber of Secrets, half that film is irrelevant. Order of the Phoenix, half that film is irrelevant.
Are you kidding me? The books were slightly long, but the movies were nice and quick. It's nice. Chamber of Secrets is suspenseful. Order of the Phoenix has the whole thing going. This is coming from the person who watched Lord of the Rings and had to douse himself in ice cold water 20 times when he was watching it because the movie was so slow. All right, we're moving on to our final part.
Lord of the Rings, honestly. Lord of the Rings. I could watch this from hours on end. It's not boring at all, honestly. And talk about final action.
I didn't say it was boring. I said it was slow. I said talking to trees for an hour is slow, which it is.
Honestly, Lord of the Rings about the depths of evil and the final action scene. Yes, Harry Potter was a final action scene. Lord of the Rings was that as well. Honestly, Harry Potter, you didn't even see much of the battle. Most of it was just Harry, Ron, and Hermione running around Hogwarts.
You didn't see much of the battle in Lord of the Rings either. You saw Gandalf doing his thing and whatever. You saw most of the battle in Harry Potter as you did in Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, the difference was the battle was self-centered. Whereas Lord of the Rings, they were just fighting for the sake of fighting.
Honestly, Lord of the Rings, it has the Ghost Army scene, it has the final battle with... It was just epic in scale.
Summons the Ghost Army. Who freaking cares?
Oh, Hogwarts was cool, okay? But in the end, it wasn't very cool. It was just... it's a ton of people just going, waving wands. Lord of the Rings, swords, and you just feel the scale of them. We see these huge, massive creatures. Peter Jackson created this world. And he added the wizards, he added everything, and then at the end, you don't have this...
It wasn't an adaptation!
No! He adapted it! This is adaptation. If you wanted an adaptation, like you're saying, the film would have been bland as heck.
Exactly, that's what you're saying. It's not a worthy book to be adapted. You're screwing yourself. Okay. We need to get to our final arguments, because we're running out of time.
Fine. Can I do my final argument first?
Yes.
Peter Jackson took this world J.R.R. Tolkien made and made something more of it. He made it a world that people could explore. That, I think, is a faithful adaptation, you know? If you're taking some writing that people say, if you're describing an adaptation like that, that is an adaptation. That's literally just taking something and putting it on screen. You want to create this world that people have written. And Lord of the Rings does that perfectly. Harry Potter does that perfectly as well, but not to the extent of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings created a whole world. It created Mordor. It created the Shire. It created these places that you can pinpoint and go to. Harry Potter made like a few places. The Lord of the Rings franchise made an entire world with characters that are lovable or deadly or getting hunted, and it goes into the depths of evil and how far something can take you. And it follows all these characters in their arcs, and it just all blends so well together, leading up to a final battle that truly is epic and an ending that is so fulfilling it makes you cry. Harry Potter does that as well, but it kind of ends on a blunt note almost. Like with the 19 years later, it's like final battle, Voldemort dies, and then, hey, let's hug the end. Lord of the Rings, my little friends, no one shall bow to you. And then Frodo, honestly, the emotion is there, and it all culminates thanks to this free, literally 6-hour journey that you can watch back to back. Harry Potter, I don't know if you can do that. I'm trying to edit a version of I'm editing a version of Harry Potter right now with all the films, and I can tell you there's so much stuff you can cut out because so much of that film was irrelevant. You can't cut out anything from Lord of the Rings other than some of that boring.
Lord of the Rings is irrelevant.
Other than that boring tree stuff, Lord of the Rings is a full concrete journey, and it is beautiful. And nobody could have adapted the world better than Peter Jackson, because he took the minimal description J.R.R. Tolkien gave and made it into this full, massive world that people could explore. They go hand in hand. The movies are a fantastic companion to the books, while Harry Potter isn't as faithful. They leave out so much stuff in Harry Potter. It's not even funny. Lord of the Rings, you're saying it's only unfaithful because of how they presented it. But I think if you're not going to be faithful at all, that's how you should present it. In terms of leaving out scenes from the Harry Potter books to the movies, that's what you shouldn't do. They leave out many great Harry Potter scenes, like Harry Potter saying goodbye to Dudley, or people's deaths. You just see the aftermath, and you're like, why would you do that? Lord of the Rings puts all the story... makes all the story from the books great onto the screen, but then it adds more with the background and everything else.
Alright, your time has elapsed. Alright.
Good.
Now, all right, I'm going to get to my final 2-minute argument. So, you said it took the world and it made something more. You're 100% right. Lord of the Rings is a fantastic movie. But at the same time, like you're saying, and like I said, the book was not worthy for adaptation. Harry, you also quoted, and I said Harry Potter adapted. You said Harry Potter was adapted perfectly. Just FYI, so you agree with me. And you're talking about how Lord of the Rings gives you places to go, like the Shire and other places, and Mordor. But I mean, you're not even in the Shire very much. You're in the Shire for 15 minutes. What Harry Potter does is it takes 8 movies to give you one location, and you constantly get more. Hogwarts is a character. The Ministry of Magic is a character. All these different places are characters in that movie, basically, and they're used as such. So therefore, when Hogwarts is getting taken down, you feel something as if like your friend is getting attacked, and Diagon Alley, when they're breaking into Gringotts, that's like a character to you. The locations are so much better developed in Harry Potter. I've got a lot more to go to. And you're talking about character arcs. Talk about an 8-movie character arc of Harry Potter. You're saying that Harry Potter has a blunt ending. It ends perfectly. It recaps the whole thing. It shows he's ready to let some other people go off to Hogwarts. It shows that the world is safe. Lord of the Rings is Sam shutting a freaking door. That is the worst ending in movie history. Instead of the amazing shot of Frodo sailing off, which for no reason he does, because that makes no sense. No, now we get Sam shutting a door, because that's the perfect last shot of a movie, right? I mean, you're talking about how they leave out stuff in Harry Potter. Most of Lord of the Rings didn't even consist in the books. It's so different from the actual book. They left out so much stuff in the book and added entirely new material. Harry Potter, there was so much material to work with, they didn't need to do that. So for these reasons, for the fact that you're being completely ridiculous, Harry Potter is a better movie franchise than Lord of the Rings. All right, we have reached the end of our closing arguments. Make sure to vote for who you think debated better down in the comment section below. All right, so we've got a cool next thing. We're going to come up next. We're going to do our predictions for the top 5 highest grossing movies for this upcoming year.
Yes, we are. Woo! That was your debate, Katie. Good job.
Oh my gosh. Good job to you two. My gosh. I swear I thought I'd screw that whole Anchorman time.
Was I better than I thought you'd be?
You were good. You were very good.
Thanks. Alright. So should we just go top 5 and then top 5 instead of going one by one?
Alright, we'll go top 5. Alright.
So, yeah, we chose our top 5 films that we think are going to gross the most of this year. So, including order. We're not going to say how much, in terms of the amount of money, but these are the top 5 films in order that we think how they're going to go in terms of high gross. So, and I think you might find them quite similar, maybe. My number 5 is Furious 7. In 4th place, I have Spectre, the next James Bond film. 3rd place, the finale to The Hunger Games, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. And then, number 2 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 1 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I do think Star Wars will make more in the long run, but in terms of, opening weekend, Avengers will. But 2nd place, when it comes to the long run.
Alright, so for my honorable mention, I'm going to go with Jurassic World. I think it's a perfectly stated. It'll make a ton of money. But my number 5 is Inside Out. This is going to be the return of Pixar. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to make a ton of money like Pixar movies used to do.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Alright, I think that Furious 7, it'll be cool, but people will get around like, it's an okay movie. I don't think it's going to be that great of a movie. Number 4, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Conclusion to Hunger Games. I'm super duper excited. Number 3, Spectre. This is the next movie in the James Bond saga. People are saying that this is going to be the movie with a $300 million budget. This is the way to do it. Spectre, so excited for it. My number 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Super duper excited. My number 1, Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yep. Those are all picks.
Alright, so make sure to check Magnus out at youtube.com/ScottCFulton. He's on there sometimes. And also make sure to check me out at youtube.com/BuzzAboutMovies. I'll be posting a review of Cinderella later today. And also tons of stuff to check out. We're both on Teams Talk Movies. That's at youtube.com/LandmarkFilm, as well as on both of our channels. And make sure to check out the Cam Awards, which should be going up on his channel very soon.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for tuning in to In Hollywood In Depth. We go into Hollywood and we go in depth. As always, thank you for watching. I'm Magnus Fulton and
I'm Katie Hollander of the Ultimate Debate and please vote for me down in the comment section below.
Vote for Magnus. I'll give you chips.
You give them chips. Okay. I won't give you anything. I'll give you maybe a free poster. Whatever.
You owe me a free poster. You still owe me a free poster.
I owe you a few free posters. I'm aiming for when I come out this summer. We'll work something out. All right.
Cool.
I'll give you a few extra ones for patience.
Thanks.
And the $10 I owe you from last year's box office bet. All right. Yep. So make sure to check everybody out. All of us out. Make sure to also check out RJ Carey. Couldn't quite make it today. He's also here. We might sometimes have a judge on some of these things to decide who is better at the debating stuff. All right. So thanks, guys. Adios.
Adios.